What's up, losers? Today I'm back with another r/fatlogic bonanza. Taking a look at a couple of eyebrow-raising posts, sharing my responses to them, and cracking a few jokes. Before getting into the posts, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that I'm planning to dial back my uploads a bit for the time being, to posting once every 2 or 3 days, rather than daily, just because I've got a bunch of other stuff going on at the moment. And I don't want to wear myself out too much keeping up the daily grind. I'll try to make the videos a bit longer when I do post, so that you're not losing out too much. But yeah, we'll see how things go. At any rate, this is episode 156 in the fatlogic series. And I've got some fun posts lined up. So without further preamble, let's get into it.
You want to know why fat people might be out of breath? Because in addition to moving the weight of our awesome fat bodies around, yes, we are badasses like that. You're trying to get us to carry around your anti-fat bias. And that sheet is heavy.
Haha, oh my god, these fat acceptance copes are getting out of hand. So it's thin people's fault that fat people get out of breath now. Really? How convenient. I guess all it'll take for an obese person to dethrone Eliud Kipchoge in the marathon is a little soul searching from us nasty thins. Very sorry. We'll get right on that. No, but seriously, while this post does acknowledge that the size of fat bodies plays a part in making fat people struggle for breath, I'm not happy with them bringing up the whole carrying around anti-fat bias point, in any way, shape or form, because frankly, it's just BS, and it only serves to muddy the waters of what's actually a very clear-cut, unambiguous situation. Like, no, anti-fat bias is not causing your shortness of breath at all. Get the frick out of here and own your sheet. You're not doing yourself any favors by trying to wriggle out of what's really going on. And it is nothing short of an insult to everyone else's intelligence that you would even make such a suggestion. I mean, really, maybe anti-fat bias actually is a problem that needs to be addressed in some way. But if you're going to present the concept in such a ludicrous manner, I'm going to have a hard time believing that. And I doubt that I'm the only one who feels that way. Oh, and this should go without saying, but calling your body awesome, and rationalizing your alarming health problems by calling yourself a badass for dealing with them is both deeply embarrassing and highly immature. Being obese is not some cute little quirk. It is a seriously dangerous medical condition, and it should be treated as such. You can call yourself a badass all you like, but when you find yourself dealing with a bunch of painful and unnecessary health problems, or worse, as a consequence of your failure to sort out your diet, I expect that those words will sound remarkably hollow. Just something to keep in mind.
Over the last 40 years, the collective BMI, body mass index, of the American public has shot up dramatically, with catastrophic consequences, says David Ludwig, MD PhD, founder and director of the New Balance Foundation Obesity Prevention Center at Boston Children's Hospital. We understandably spotlight the biggest losers, the people who drop 100 pounds and turn their lives around. But there are countless others who, despite exercising and following a high-quality diet, can only whittle their BMI to a certain point. They need to learn to live healthfully with the disease of obesity, rather than make themselves miserable trying to cure themselves of it. They need to learn to live healthfully with the disease of obesity. You can't make this sheet up. I can't believe we live in a world where a normal part of human diversity is seen as a literal disease by medical professionals, who then use slurs to refer to these diseased people, and start their obsession with discriminating against these people when they are as young as children. I also can't believe this is included in an article attempting to be body positive.
Wow, so here we have a doctor trying their best to cater to the Hayes crowd, accepting the refusal of fat activists to do what it takes to lose weight. and tailoring their messaging towards people who expect to live their whole lives in a state of obesity. Yet still, surprise surprise, the fat activists aren't having it, even though this doctor is basically telling them that they don't have to lose weight, and giving them the exact kind of treatment that they've been clamoring for all this time. The fact that they won't go that one step further, and deny that obesity is a problem outright, is enough for fat activists to throw a tantrum over it. Typical. It just goes to show that there's no use in trying to negotiate with these people, because you will never make them happy, until the day you're painting your face and riding a unicycle alongside them. All this dude's olive branch achieved was to discourage fat people from attempting to lose weight, by making weight loss sound like a near impossibility, when it isn't, and to further rile up the perpetually angry fat activists of the world, who pretty much live to complain, literally view the word obesity itself as a slur, and are not looking for any kind of reasonable middle ground. So really, why even bother? It's not helping anyone, and it's giving a respect and credibility to people who clearly don't deserve it. I don't object to providing obese people with the best care that we can while they're obese. In fact, I fully support that, but I don't think that this shift away from a focus on weight loss to a focus on, quote, living healthfully with the disease of obesity, is wise, and this post demonstrates pretty clearly why. There is no advantage that I can see to ceding ground to fat activists and taking away the goal of weight loss for obese people, even if this goal is one that lots of them will never achieve, is only going to foster defeatism and complacency. So as far as I'm concerned, this doctor is barking up the wrong tree by shifting the focus away from weight loss and affording an unearned legitimacy to fat acceptance. Just my 2 cents worth.
I support fat people becoming educated about calories and nutrition. I support fat people dieting and exercising to lose weight, so they can be healthier, happier, and more confident. I support me beating you with this stick I found. Hashtag I support fat people all getting a turn to hit this person with a stick. Like a piñata. Hell yeah.
Like a piñata, you say? Well gosh, that doesn't sound pleasant. Surely we can resolve this without resorting to violence. Right, I mean, I'm too pretty to get beaten up with a stick, haha. Jokes aside, it's pretty wild to me how such a mild post would provoke such an enraged response. Like, it would be one thing if the original poster was calling fat people ugly, or trying to take away fat people's rights or something, but all they said was that they support giving fat people the information that they need to lose weight, so that they can live healthier and happier lives, and this fat activist basically exploded over it. Disproportionate much. As a general rule, I'd say that a movement being so reliant on depriving people of information is not a great sign as far as the credibility and trustworthiness of said movement goes. And that definitely applies here. I mean, what exactly are they so worried about? Learning about calories and nutrition and exercise and whatever does not compel one to commit to a hardcore diet or exercise regimen. It just gives one the tools to make informed choices and put effective plans into action. For such a reasonable suggestion to be met with this kind of vitriol tells us something pretty sad about the insecurity of the fat acceptance movement, and how heavily it relies on active self-delusion from its participants to sustain itself, and yeah, I don't know what else there is to say really. I guess the moral of the story is, if you see a fat activist charging at you with a stick, run, otherwise things might end rather badly for you, haha. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you had a good time reading through these posts with me, and that you got something out of my commentary. What do you think? Are fat bodies awesome and badass? Are doctors who acknowledge the unhealthiness of obesity, even in the softest way possible, automatically horrible people? Should fat people get to take turns hitting pro-diet people with a stick, like piñatas? Let me know in the comments. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, or I'll hit you with a stick until your belly dramatically bursts, and all of that candy you've been eating comes pouring out, to the delight of a bunch of excited children. Just kidding, haha. Anyway, catch you later.